Greetings. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Today, let's take a little trip to California. And if you're joining me, my subscribers, thank you very much. I welcome all of you. And to those who have not yet subscribed, you're welcome too. Let's take a psychic energy trip and see what we can discover. Do you know this is day 15 for the LA fires? 15 days. 15 days of burn, baby, burn. Now, we do know that this is not exactly the plan. Or is it the plan? It's hard to imagine that the smart grid, which was basically, smart meter and smart grid, almost the same thing, which started in Obama's era. I think it was 06 or 08, something like that. That he promised matching funds, smart meters, yes, smart meters. And it was 09. He promised he'd give the federal government would put in $3.4 billion to power companies if they can come up with matching funds. So it was a scramble. So they took any old thing, supposedly, or they just stuck them up there, and then they got more money, and more money, and more money, and more money. And basically, a lot of people complained about the smart meters. And I want to know, you want to know, we all want to know, is the smart meters prolonging this? I mean, what are smart meters? Two-way radio systems, two-way ionic radiation, radio waves. I mean, it's got to be, if it's conducting energy waves, it can't be good for the fire. Obviously, it's not going to stop the fire. And then when you have the smart grid, which is also heavy-duty electromagnetic fields. They're harmful to humans, and there's, for anyone who wishes to look, there are three pages, just blank, 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 blank of all the health hazards. And then you have these buildings that have, apartment buildings, they have X amount of smart meters, which is not good for you and not good for anyone. So let's just see. Now, this fire is just totally irrational that a modern American city can be burning for over 2 weeks. And the end, it's not over. It's not over. And they're saying the wind. But wouldn't the wind move the electric magnetic field somewhat? I mean, the elements of the earth with the elements of something else, the chemistry set. So let's just see, first of all, are these electric meters, smart meters, are they harmful? Are they starting the fire? Are they keeping the fire going? And the electric grid, which is even more concentration of radio waves and radiation, is it prolonging this fire? Now we're just randomly picking a few cards to see. I mean, it's important to know because it can happen to any of us since we all have smart meters are deployed everywhere. And I use the word deployed. And they're supposed to make the electricity higher, but not so. People have been complaining that their bills, ever since they got switched to a smart meter, are triple and double. There has been no savings. What is it? Just a data gathering device and risking our health and fire hazard? No, we can't. They can't say, oh no, the electric meters had nothing to do with the fire that's been raging now for 2 weeks. So let's just see if the spirits can guide us. All right. Now I've taken about 6 or 7 cards, and we'll see if we can get some sort of direction on this. The first thing we get is the 6 of Cups. I would say the 6 of Cups is a few stops, a few this and that. It could be the smart meters, the smart grid, everything else. Let's say the wind, the dryness, no water, etc. could be prolonging the fire. So there's not like just one specific thing, but we're asking about the smart grid and the smart meters. And then here we have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is like there's a dualism. There's two things working. Two things working. Now, the smart meters are not putting out the fire. The smart grid is not putting out the fire. So I would say, conjunction with other things, it's a good possibility that it's prolonging the fires. Isn't the lithium batteries also, they do combustible? And then we have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups, all right, that could be the fires. That could be the fires. That could be the fires. Or it could, I don't really say that's Obama because it's his initiative. And we have the Chariot. It could be the movement of the fires, and how they keep on going and going and going, and no end in sight. Wow, it could start anywhere. There's a correlation. Here we have the moon. The data is uncertain. We can't say yes and we can't say no. Don't you think in the middle of like the question of can't say yes and can't say no, we should be on the safe side and say, the great possibility of this happening? I mean, they could make an experiment under control with circumstances, light a match and have a little wind and have a smart meter or anything in that nature. It's an experiment that could be done. And perhaps they've already done it. They already did it. And look at this, crash and burn. We have the towers and we have the we have the 10 of Wands. It seems like it's a difference between a wooden match, and the difference between one of these. Ta-da! A lighter. Now there's no wooden match here, right? No, but it lights up and it's still fire. So it could be fuel for flames. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. Well, it's almost as though they're not about to really like thrash that, discuss that element of it, because a lot of money's been invested in it, billions and billions and billions of dollars. But we can definitely see that besides causing harmful effects, tinnitus, memory loss, headaches, so forth and so on, it's also a hazardous and has contributed to the fires. It would seem as though the forces are trying to tell us that when one has a prolonged situation such as the LA fires, we should leave nothing uncovered. We should investigate, and more investigation. Because did the smart meters and the smart grid lead to the prolonged time period of the fire? I would say the possibility is great. The possibility of it happening, tell me the fact that radio waves, electromagnetic fields do not cause fires. What do? Do they cause, cause things to blossom? Maybe hazardous things to blossom. But they're not exactly, it's not rain. And it could be a conduit of flames. There's a lot of discussion that has to be made. And shall we get to the bottom of that? Well, is there incentive enough other than just blaming, calling the DEI staff of the city and all the many things that were off key, and corruption and stuff like that? We should find out exactly what non-human agents were players in this fire that keeps on burning, keeps on giving. And that's the whole thing, is finding out how we can be safer, not how we can blame after the fact, but how we can stop or prohibit or harness whatever hazardous elements that's making this fire continue. And that would take real leadership. Crash and burn is easy to pinpoint on someone. Causation, especially when it involves lots of money, that's a little different approach. And not many people yet are willing to take that step, especially in the era of data collection. All right, so I think basically that we have seen that there is definitely a correlation that has to be investigated. Will it? Don't hold your breath. But if we advocate the fact that it is electromagnetic waves are conductive for heat and flames, perhaps we can. So we hope that we will reach the heart of others who are willing to take up this cause and ask these questions, especially since all of us do have these two-way surveillance data collecting meters on our habitats. So until then, thank you very much for joining me on this journey. And these are speculations, of course, and there are questions that if you have any comments, please add. And if you do think that smart meters or the smart grid is flame conducent, flame conductive, please add a comment. We're all in this together. Remember that. And to all the people who supported Mystic Moons, I thank you very much. To our supporters, I also thank you, and I look forward to hearing any responses. Once again, until the next time, thank you very much.